If we were asked to split our lives into categories, most of us would choose three: work, leisure, and sleep. Or more realistically, work, not at work, and sleep, right? Let's say one of your friends bought a rent house, investment property, that needed quite a bit of repairs. And they told you they couldn't afford to do everything at one time, so they would put new carpet in this month. Next month they would repair the huge holes in the roof and then start painting the walls the following month. You would certainly mention that maybe they would want to repair the holes in the roof first, right? I mean, it would just make sense to work in the area that would make the most difference, as well as the area that would protect and enhance future investments. We spend more than 50% of our waking day at work. Since we spend the major portion of our waking day at work and we're going to try to live more of our life inside the parentheses, let's start there. First, I'd like to address the people in this room that work in sales. I want you to raise your hand if you're in sales of any kind. Now I want everyone else to raise your hand. This is more accurate. Every one of us are in sales. The first people that raise their hands are in sales of some sort within this or some organization. They, as well as the rest of us, are in sales of a much more important product. The product is you. You're selling a product and you have customers lined up to decide how much they like it. Product you has a trademark, logo that's stronger than the Nike swoosh. And you don't have to hire Tiger Woods to represent your product, because you represent your product everywhere you go. Everything you do, everything you say, and most importantly, with your attitude and level of integrity. Your representation of your product leaves a long-lasting residual trail behind it that changes everything about the possibilities in your future. When you walk into a room or your name's mentioned, your trademark, logo, flashes into the front of everyone's mind. What do you want people to see when they think about you? If you're the product, and you are, who are your customers? Almost everyone you come in contact with during your workday, as well as some other parts of your life. Your number one customer is your direct boss. She buys what you're selling every week, as well as has a lot to do with determining what you get paid for it. If you actually work with the customers that bring the money through the doors, that would be a pretty important customer. The people above your boss are customers. And the people that work for you are certainly your customers as well. They count on you for guidance, to lead them in the right direction. And you should be leading them, not managing them. Lead the people, manage the business. But that's another talk for another day. Wikipedia defines the customer as a current or potential buyer or user of the product. So we've determined what the product is, you, and we now know who the customers are, almost everyone else. Who is the most important person in this equation? No, you are. That's right. Of course you are. I know we've said for years the customer is king. And this is true to some degree, but also very superficial. Think about it. If you take you out of this equation, does it really matter to you how happy the customer is? If there's no you, there's no reason for any of this from your perspective. Now that we know you're the most important person in this equation, let's decide what you want out of this game. We as humans have 4 basic human needs: significance, belonging, security, and physical needs. Significance is achievement, contribution, and more realistically, for the biggest portion of our lives, stuff. Belonging is love, friendship, and respect. Security is certainty or some control of our immediate surroundings. And physical needs are nutrition and sleep. So now we know what the product is, you, who the customers are, almost everyone else, who the most important person in this equation is, you are, what the customer is, current or potential buyer or user of the product, and what you want out of this deal, stuff. So if you're the most important person in this equation, then what you want out of the deal is the most important objective. How do you get what you want out of the deal? Well, that's easy. By being and presenting the best possible product to the customer. So they will want to buy or utilize your product more than any other product. I don't think we need to go deep into economics or the supply and demand thing here, but the more the customer wants the product, and we know there's only one, the higher the value goes. This is like life algebra. When it finally comes together, it just really makes sense. And you still don't need math on paper. How many of the 4 basic human needs can we fulfill or are related to what we do at work? Just look at them for a minute. One of the most important things you need to understand is the system I'm explaining to you is completely independent of anyone else at work. This is about product you. And you have total control of how you decide to develop, manage, and market this product. If you were an inventor and you were designing a product to bring to market, would you openly complain about the shortcomings of the other products around you? Or would you make note of them? Would you look at other products like the one you're developing and say or think something like, I can't design this feature or that feature into my product because none of my competition have that feature. And I just want my product to fit in so no one will notice it or think it's different. Or maybe you want to buy it or utilize it. Think about the people you know or know of that are extremely successful. Do a little research into their past and see if they were scared to stand out or if they had the courage to excel, to slowly pull away from the crowd so that one day, which is today for them, they could feel the greatness this life has to offer the people that are willing to make this decision. When you get home, walk into your bathroom and stand in front of the sink. You are upgrading, improving a product. And you're looking at the current model in the mirror. How many products have you purchased from a store and after using them thought, this is a good product, but I would change the way it does this, or I would improve the way it does that? Think about how product you performed each of the tasks you were involved in that day. This product, you can change anything you want. You're designing a product to outsell everything on the market. What is the first change you should make to the way your product performed these tasks? Do this every morning and every evening when you're brushing your teeth. Put a note on your mirror to remind you. Look at your product. Are you completely satisfied with what you see and how you feel about yourself? Think about what you can improve about your product and make the decision to implement one of these changes. The immediate advantage of making the decision to make these changes is the way these changes will make you feel about yourself. The main short-term advantage and side effect will be what this does to your financial bottom line, which will affect the way you feel about yourself and your accomplishments. The long-term effect is immeasurable. Was there something I mentioned earlier that could be affected by your decision to make these changes? Your dreams? Is there a chance that feeling better about yourself, making more money, having increased autonomy, having a better reputation, and or having the opportunity to network with people on a higher level would make it easier for you to pursue your dreams? Is there a chance these things would improve your everyday life even if you never pursue your dreams? Do you think it's worth doing a little investing in this area of your life? When have you ever been presented with the opportunity to make an investment with zero out-of-pocket dollars that's guaranteed to pay off at this rate? Guaranteed, you question? This system is guaranteed by all of society and backed by a reputation of having never failed in the history of time. There has never been a person that has given it their all without giving up, that barring some catastrophic event, hasn't made it to where they wanted to be. Sure, there will be little failures along the way, maybe even a big one. But there's a meaningful journey, a lot of life, and a lot of feelings you will never experience if you don't make a decision and push through to get what you want. You want a test drive? Set your sights on a small change. Something just outside of your comfort zone. Put everything you have into accomplishing this change. When you get there, look back, see how that short journey felt. Feel the satisfaction of having done it. If you like this feeling, and you will, set another goal. As the goals get bigger, you'll have to put a little more time and effort into each of them. And the satisfaction and personal fulfillment will increase as well. This gets addictive, and you will want and know you can have more. It's unfortunate that I have to address this, but I know from feedback I've received on this material in the past, there may be a few people in this audience thinking something like, I know why they got this guy to come talk to us. And there lies one of the biggest myths and one of the biggest hindrances that exist to your progress in the workplace. It's not them or us. It's them or us. We are all in this together. Even if you work with or for some people that seem to only have their own objectives in mind, we are all just trying to get somewhere. Everyone has their own method. This system works for you. And not taking advantage of this system for yourself because you know someone else will gain from your efforts as well is a perfect example of the old saying, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Were you worried about your job during this past economic downturn? If you were presenting your absolute best product to the customer, do you think this would have been any concern? The people at the top of their game, the ones that were inside the parentheses, had little to worry about unless the entire company went down. And if this was the case, there were likely enough people in their network that knew their value, and they were quickly picked up by another company. In addition to this, there is about a 100% chance that making these changes will get you to your one day faster. Earlier, I mentioned one day. How many times has the phrase one day crossed your lips? What does your one day look like? More importantly, what does your one day feel like? Life is about feelings. It's about the way we feel about ourselves, the way we feel about the way we make others feel, and the way others feel about us.